Good morning and welcome. My name is David Webb. I am the Director of Procurement, and my office is going to provide a presentation on creating and managing requisitions. First, I'd like to thank you for registering to attend this particular presentation. And also I want to thank you as well for making time in your day to attend. So thank you very much. Before we go into the presentation, there is a short presentation coming from Cabinet. So I'm going to start that now.
Greetings, APS staff. Thank you for taking time for your learning. Professional development is very important. It helps us grow as educators and strengthens our work to support students. I encourage all staff to make time to participate in the sessions and the activities planned on this day of learning. Just as every student counts, every member of our staff counts, and we're committed to supporting your growth in APS. Part of learning is knowing your organization and who to reach out to for support. During lessoning sessions last year, the Office of Professional Learning received feedback that staff didn't know who oversees which office or which department. There's been a good amount of change over the past year, and so this video will help give you a quick look at Cabinet and what offices and departments that they oversee. In my September 28th message to staff, I included an organizational chart. To see that chart, visit Staff Central. And thank you again for your continued support of our students and for taking this time to continue your education. I look forward to seeing how you'll implement this learning into your practice. And now I'd like the Cabinet to introduce themselves.
Greetings, my name is John Mayo, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Arlington Public Schools. The Office of the Chief Operating Officer is comprised of 6 departments. The first department, Facilities and Operations, which is comprised of maintenance, plant operations, transportation services, aquatics, and design and construction. The second department, Finance and Management Services, which is comprised of procurement, budget and finance, food services, and extended day. The third department, Human Resources, which is comprised of benefits, payroll, employee relations, talent acquisition, as well as the Employee Assistance Program. Information Services is the fourth department, includes all technological aspects of running an organization. And in that department, we're looking anywhere from the infrastructure for running technology and APS to student and staff devices. The fifth department, Labor Relations, which is a new department for APS, is comprised of working collaboratively with the 3 collective bargaining units, licensed staffing, support staff, as well as administrative staff. And last but not least, number 6, Safety, Security, Risk and Emergency Management, which is responsible for making sure that all of our schools and offices are safe and secure at all times. I look forward to working with you this year and visiting your schools or your work sites during this school year.
I'm Catherine Ashby, Assistant Superintendent of School and Community Relations. We get to lead all of the communications for the school division. We oversee the website, we oversee school talk, we lead family and community engagement, as well as video production and volunteer and partners. But the best thing that we do is recognize employees and share your stories through the All-Stars program as well as through the Celebration of Excellence. That is the best thing that we get to do. So please continue to share your stories with us, and I look forward to seeing you out at schools.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Graves and I am the Chief of School Support, and I am so excited to greet you on your day of learning. My office, the Office of School Support, is responsible for helping to provide direct support to students, to schools, to address all of your social emotional needs, making certain that we are looking at programming and really just being available to ensure that all of our students and staff have optimal learning environments. In the Office of School Support, we oversee the Welcome Center, the LSRC. We also have a huge department known as Student Services, which houses our counselors, our social workers, our psychologists, and a host of other factors that are directly related to ensuring that students have the tools that they need to be successful in school. I want to wish all of you a wonderful, wonderful year and look forward to working with you all in so many different ways.
Hello, everybody. Great to see you. My name is Dr. Jason Otley. I'm the Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer here at Arlington Public Schools, an exciting office to be a part of. One of the great initiatives that we're working on this year is our bias training. When I came to Arlington Public Schools, I recognized that professional learning was something that everyone was desirous of from all of our skills, from our top leaders who work here in central office to our staff who are at all of our schools across the division. And so thinking about what training would really benefit, aid, and supplement growth and learning for all of our employees, it'd be bias training. Sometimes our biases kind of get in the way of our ideologies and also our actions and decisions. And so we're super excited out of our office to be able to roll out this year and also next year an opportunity for everybody to take place in professional learning around bias.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Smith. I'm Division Counsel here at APS. The Office of Division Counsel provides legal representation, advice, and guidance to all the divisions here at APS. And that can range the span of contracts and procurement, human resources, and protecting students who have disabilities. Have a fun day of professional learning, and we look forward to working with you. You can contact us through your supervisor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gerald Mann. I'm happy to be here with you on this day of learning. Please lean in. We're all learning today, and this is an exciting day for all of us to continue to fill our cups with new knowledge. And I am the Chief Academic Officer. In our office, we support all of our teachers, students, and families from pre-K through adult ed, but also our English learners, gifted students, and special education students. And so again, we're here to support you, provide those resources, and help, at the end of the day, all of our students excel. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephen Linkus, the Chief of Staff for the Arlington Public Schools. I have the great fortune of being here after serving in education for over 25 years as a teacher, principal, assistant superintendent, and now I'm lucky enough to serve with you. We have a great school division, and my departments and the people I work with do great work to ensure that you can provide a quality education to every student. Planning and evaluation looks at boundaries, building of new schools, new facilities, and really has a major hand in the CIP process. Assessment, we know the SOLs and all the other measurements that take place. They keep track of these, and they're very supportive of all the campuses as they move forward. Strategic planning is also under us. We know that helps drive what we do and the excellence we provide for every student in Arlington Public Schools. Lastly, special projects as anything and everything else that we need to be a part of. But I do have to say my favorite part of the job is working with your favorite parents and mine when they are very happy with the answers they've gotten from both of us. So thanks, and hope you have a great day of learning.
Again, thank you very much for making the time today to attend this presentation. I'm going to go through and do an overview of the procurement function, and then I'm going to pass over to Ton Tai, who's going to do a demonstration of the UPK. I have a hard 11:30 finish, but members of my staff will be available from 11:30 until noon if anybody has any questions or would like to talk to the staff. Representing the procurement office today, I have myself, David Webb, the director, Danielle Godfrey, who's the assistant director. I have Brandon Christian, senior procurement specialist. I have Hamed Hamidi, also senior procurement specialist. Carol Soto, procurement specialist, and Ton Tai, procurement technician. Rebecca Hoffman is also part of the procurement office, and she deals with special projects. Also attending today, helping APS or helping the procurement office, Matt O'Grady and Sanjay from the ERP function analyst side. The presentation will cover the role of the procurement office. It will help you understand the importance of the purchase order. It will provide a general overview of the procurement process, and then there will be a demonstration of the user productivity kit, UPK, on how to create a requisition from a non-catalog request. So the role of the procurement office. The procurement office provides 3 core services. It awards contracts, it approves purchase orders, and helps dispose of surplus property. So the primary function of the procurement office is to purchase goods, services, construction, and insurance on behalf of APS from non-governmental sources. It ensures compliance with state and federal laws and regulations, with APS policies and procedures. It ensures that all qualified vendors have access to APS business, seeks competition to the maximum feasible degree, which helps them keep prices down and protects the APS budget. It conducts all procurement procedures in a fair and impartial manner, with avoidance of any impropriety or the appearance of any impropriety. It ensures best value for money, which does not necessarily mean the lowest price. Consideration is given to quality and to service. It's a source of information on the availability of goods and services. Importantly, it protects APS against legal actions. And as I mentioned earlier on, it also disposes of surplus property belonging to APS. The importance of the purchase order. The purchase order is important because it encumbers funds from the office or department school's budget. Also, it informs the vendor that funding is available, and it provides protection to APS should the vendor fail to perform. There are terms and conditions attached to the purchase order, and that's the protection that it provides. This protection is absent if the requisition is entered after the goods and services have been delivered or performed. So, for example, where an invoice is used as a document to generate the requisition. It's therefore important a purchase order is issued in advance of the goods and services being delivered or performed. The protection offered by the purchase order is also absent if the purchase is made using a P card or direct pay. Therefore, P card purchases should only be made in accordance with the P card manual. References, the Arlington Public Schools has a procurement resolution, and references within the resolution 4-110, work commencing without an approved purchase order or change order, and another reference is 4-111, unauthorized purchases. Any Arlington Public Schools officer or employee making or approving the original purchase contrary to the provisions of the procurement resolution or the Virginia Public Procurement Act, whether willfully or through gross negligence, emphasized, may be personally liable for the costs of such purchases or contract. If already paid out of Arlington Public Schools funds, the amount therefore may in the name of Arlington Public Schools be recovered by deduction from that person's compensation in accordance with applicable law or an appropriate legal action instituted. So again, our role is to protect the staff. We are asking you to put your requisitions in advance to allow the purchase order to be approved in advance of any goods and services being delivered or performed. Small purchases in accordance with 4-105 of the procurement resolution, and any purchase that does not exceed $200,000. Up to not exceeding $10,000, a minimum of one quote is required. Between $10,000 and up to $30,000, 3 quotes need to be solicited. From $30,000 to $200,000, 4 quotes need to be solicited. And again, this is where there's an absence of a contract currently in place for the goods or services that you're looking for. For the 1 quote, we are looking at having an attachment to verify the quote. The 1 quote needs to be obtained and attached as backup to support the requisition. For the minimum of 3 and 4 quotes, it's solicited. So we look to the office or the school department to reach out to a minimum of 3 if the purchase is between $10,000 and $30,000, and a minimum of 4 if the purchase is between $30,000 and $200,000, to obtain the 3 or 4 quotes. Now, if it's demonstrated that every effort was made to obtain the 3 or 4 quotes, but only, for example, 2 quotes were received in response to the 3, or 3 were received in response to the 4, My office would give consideration to moving forward with that because, again, it could be demonstrated that every effort was made to obtain the 3 or 4 quotes. With the minimum 1 quote, it is mandatory, and we expect that to be attached to the requisition. And when you have your 3 or 4 quote requirement, again, we're looking for all the quotes that you obtain to be attached as backup. And if 1 quote was not responded to, then you can provide some documentation just to bring that to our attention. So for the small purchases, the responsibility is with the school, the office, the department to obtain the quotes. Once the anticipated spend exceeds the 200,000, we're then looking at an invitation to bid, an ITB, or request for proposal, RFP, and then the procurement office would take the lead on this, and it's a formal process then. If you're unsure whether APS already has a contract in place for the goods or services that you're looking to purchase, you can either contact the procurement office for a list of current contracts, or you can review the procurement contract register in Staff Central. It's something we just made available. You can go in, you can sort by your name, by the department, by the person who actually supports you from the procurement office. It's available now, but if you have any questions, then please feel free to reach out either to Tontai or to your procurement office representative. So again, just to emphasize, no matter what the method of purchase is, backup information needs to be provided with the requisition to help those in the requisition approval hierarchy and the procurement office verify the purchase has been made in accordance with the procurement resolution, i.e. quotes or contract prices. Failure to do so can result in the requisition being rejected and being returned. And now I'm going to pass over to Ton to help with a demonstration of the user productivity kit.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you see my screen now? Is everyone see the screen okay? See the screen? Yeah. Okay. Today we are going to review how to create a requisition in the STAR to the UPK, and everybody we know the UPK is the STAR learning material. So it's in the front homepage of iProcurement. Okay, I'm going to click here. It's on the top of the left corner. And they'll bring you inside the STAR APS. So you open that folder and select Finance and Procurement folder. Then Procurement. Okay, and we are going to see the create requisition. Okay, there are many type of requisition, but we are going to show you the one is a non-catalog request that most people use them. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people have been there and look at them, but if you are the new user, and you should be go look at them when you have a chance. Okay, they have see it, try it, or print it. You can print them out, and we're going to try it now. Okay, let's go start. And iProcurement homepage, and then you on the top you select non-catalog request. And there are at item, and there are two types of this requisition. One is billed by amount, the other one is billed by quantity. A lot of people still confusing and use each of them. It's not share.
You're only showing the back window. And
Same over here.
hang on a second.
Okay. No.
Okay,
You
check.
see it? You see it now?
I have to check.
Yes, then now we can see it.
You can see it now? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah. There's some technical problem. Okay, there's a two type of this requisition. One is billed by quantity and the other one's billed by amount. So if you create a blanket PO to jot out paying the invoice each time, so you should select the bill by amount. But most people buying a one-time purchase and service, and you will choose the bill by quantity. Okay, now we just go to do the bill by quantity, and okay, item description, and that is important because a lot of people don't put enough information in there, and when the vendor receive the PO, they don't know what to do and what you want on the PO. So it's a description need to be clear and easy understanding. Okay, and just like this time, we're going to buy a chair and put in the chair and then category. And most of you guys already know the category you put in there. If you do not know the category, you can still use the magnify class to search it. Okay, you know the category you type in, and if you don't know, you use the magnify class, and you can still put in some description and typing some word, furniture, and the wildcard, and you search, and then you choose the category. And most time the category is a link to your charge account. Yeah, the category is very important because when the financing they do when the report and when they see what you're spending on which item. Yeah. Okay, now go to quantity, put the one, and unit of measure is each. And same thing, you can use magnify glass too. Yeah. Put in each wildcard and then select. Okay, the price put in there, and then supplier name, and same thing. The supplier name, just put in some word, and then you can select them. If not, you can still use a wildcard, magnify glass, search, put some word in wildcard, and select go, and choose the system furniture. Yeah, add to the cart. Okay, that's it. If you continue the second item, you do the same thing. Okay, add item and put in the same thing, the second item. Okay, now this one we just want to add the shipping. So on the add item, we change it to add shipping. Okay, add amount shipping, select the supplier name, same thing. Okay, add to the cart and view cart and check out if you don't have any more item to add it yet. Okay, description, requisition, you can just put in, that's for your internal only, and you can put in the chair and for whoever, and then you can, when you look at them and you know what you are spending on. Okay, change order or not, and most this thing is the new order. You put N, but if this is for the change order, and I think the change order most for the facility and capital project, and they are using. So you don't have to worry. Just put in N, continue, and GL days automatic will be that. Nearby day. Okay, the nearby day, if you know the day, and so you put in there. If you don't know the nearby day, and you can always put in 2 weeks. And the reason we use nearby day is let we track on the performance of the vendor. See, if you the vendor say 1 week deliver, but sometimes they won't come until 2 to 3 weeks, so we know how the vendor performance. Okay, continue and select a buyer, and you know this is an old screen, but you'll see the new screen, and they'll pop up the project depend on what area department you at, and you select a buyer. Okay, the charge account, and you can always the charge account is a default in there, but you can always change it if you want. Yeah, you can click on that, continue, magnify glass, and if you want to look at them, look at the search the cost center, and you can put in the AO1 percent size and search, and all the AO1 will be pop up in there. Okay, the same thing. I'm sure you guys been there many times, and you know. Okay, if you find the right account, and just select it, add to that, apply. The next one will be the add attachment. The approval, I think the approval is default in there, and it'll go to your supervisor. And the attachment, and that is very important, the attachment. As I say, a lot of PO will be emailed direct from the system. And the way you add the attachment, you have to select the right category, you know, because a lot of people just let it go internal to requisition, and they won't send your attachment with the PO to the vendor. The only thing you need to select the supplier, and that will be the bringing your attachment with the PO email to the vendor. So that's a very important. You know, not select to approver, buyer, receiver, just a supplier. And remember, this attachment need to go with the PO to the vendor. Okay. Okay. Now you just point out where you document, where you store the in your computer, and add the attachment there. Right. Go next. Okay, there is a item you in there. You can click on there and to view the detail if you want, and that's before you submit. Okay, and then after everything's correct, just submit the order. Okay, that's it. That's finish the step. Okay, remember after your the PO, when your product come in, and you just remember go to receipt them, but do not receive before the item come. Okay.
Thank you very much, Ton, for that. All right, so the procurement office staff. The office comprises of myself as the director. The assistant director is Danielle Godfrey, and her customer group is the chief academic officer's area. The senior procurement specialist, Hamed Hamidi, has a number of customers, as you can see here. The senior procurement specialist, Brandon Christian, his are facilities and operations, the Office of Design and Construction and Maintenance Services, mostly on the capital project funds. We have a procurement specialist who also deals with facilities and operations as well, and also deals with the disposal of surplus property. Rebecca Hoffman is a procurement analyst, deals with special projects, and then we have procurement technician Ton Tai. Useful information. And again, we're going to post this presentation. We're going to post the recording of the presentation, and I understand from the questions received that there was no sound during the welcome video. And what I will do, I will post also a link to the welcome video. That will be in Staff Central under the Procurement Office site. So again, this is going to be posted there. Got links to the UPK presentation that Ton has just talked you through. A link to the Procurement Office website. A link to the procurement resolution. There is an employee guide and also a vendor guide. They're currently under review, and a revised version of both should be available in the very near future. But there's links to the current versions here. Staff Central, as I mentioned earlier, we've now published our procurement contract register. So that is available for people to look at. And there's Ton's contact information. Okay, before we go into the questions, as I mentioned, a recording of the presentation is going to be posted on Staff Central under Finance and Management Services, the procurement. There's an evaluation form, please, which is found in Frontline. Please find a time to complete that. Again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to attend this presentation. And now I'm going to go to see what questions that we have received. So there's a question received about the availability of the contract register and sole source register. The register I mentioned in Staff Central, moving forward, will contain all of our sole sources. We currently have a standalone register for other sole sources that we have. So if you have any questions about the sole source, then please contact your procurement office representative, or Ton Tai. For the other contracts, then you can find that on the register that's posted in Staff Central. A number of people mentioned about the no sound. I do apologise for that, but we will post the welcome video link in Staff Central so staff can hear that. Are there any questions from anybody? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions come through. If you would rather, contact the procurement office separately, if you have any questions, then please do so. Going back to, depending upon where you work, your point of contact is identified here. Please reach out, or myself as well, I can help. I'm not seeing any questions. So with that, then I will say thank you very much again for the time taken to attend. Please complete the evaluation form. It's found in Frontline. If you do have any questions, please reach out to the staff here. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.